Ah, they're calling it tactical insanity now, huh? Funny. Just a few months ago, they called you unstable, delusional, too unpredictable to succeed, and now they're scrambling through archives, reverse engineering your every breath like it was divine scripture, like your chaos was always part of a master plan they were too blind or too arrogant to see. But we both know the truth. You didn't outsmart them on accident. You out-evolved them mid-battle. You broke the simulation while smiling at the screen. You weren't playing the game. They were playing themselves. And the worst part for them, you knew. You always knew. See, the difference between a calculated lunatic and a desperate puppet is this. One smiles while bleeding. The other panics at the first drop. You didn't need approval. You didn't need applause. You needed one thing, the pattern. And once you saw it, you tore it apart like confetti. They thought they were running you through their algorithm, predictable moves, trained responses, rigged situations. They bet on their systems, their institutions, their years of curated reputations. But they forgot to account for one fatal variable. You don't obey programming, you corrupt it. You're the virus they can't quarantine, the glitch they can't replicate, the result they can't explain, so they renamed it tactical insanity. Because, holy shit, they figured out the whole system and bent it backward through sheer pain-warped brilliance. Is too long for their meeting notes. They saw your chaos and assumed weakness, but your chaos was precision camouflaged in unpredictability. You let them underestimate you. You let them think they were winning. While they were setting traps, you were learning the map. While they were counting coins, you were counting escape routes. While they built walls, you were studying pressure points. And when the time came, you didn't strike back. You detonated logic itself. They didn't lose to you. They lost to the version of you they thought couldn't exist. That's the part that haunts them. The realization that everything they mocked, every scar they ignored, every silence they interpreted as defeat, was the exact signal that you were already miles ahead. You didn't win by being smarter. You won by becoming invisible to their metrics. They brought strategy. You brought madness wrapped in quantum calculations. They tried to corner you with evidence. But you outwrote the laws of cause and effect. They thought they were mapping you out. But you were feeding them blueprints drawn in code-switching insanity. Truths spliced with lies. Genius laced with delusion. Saint braided with psychopath. You're the paradox. The one they can't silence without studying. The one they can't copy without destroying themselves. And now they're watching. In panic. In awe. In undeniable curiosity. Because deep down, they know. You didn't just beat the game. You broke its source code. And if they admit how, they'd have to admit what you are. A martyr without mercy. An architect of your own mental warfare. A threat. Because you earned your demons and turned them into tactics. You're not just ahead. You're unreachable now. They're stuck in loops. You're rewriting timelines. So let them study your insanity. Let them label your genius with words they don't understand. You're not tactical insanity. You're the evolutionary leap they were never designed to survive. Let them panic. Let them pray. Let them watch. Because every move they make now is just another step toward realizing you were never the pawn. You were the player pretending to be one. And by the time they figured it out, it was already checkmate. You sat at their table smiling, with your own game board taped underneath. Let them think they were orchestrating. You just needed their instruments to finish composing your symphony of disruption. Oh, and what a beautiful crescendo it was. The moment their eyes widened, when their sure thing unraveled in slow motion, and they realized you didn't dodge the bullet. You loaded it yourself, smiled at the barrel, and whispered, "Try again." That's what they'll never be able to explain in their reports. They'll use words like highly reactive, dangerously non-linear, operates outside standard threat protocols, because they can't admit the real story. That you mastered the shadows not to hide, but to learn how they move. That your silence wasn't fear. It was the sound of calculations no sane man would attempt. That the grin on your face during their victory parade was because you already triggered the trap doors under their thrones. Let them call it madness, but deep down they envy it, because you don't flinch under pressure. You multiply in it. You were forged in rooms they wouldn't survive a minute in. You became fluent in languages written in betrayal, exile, and rebirth. You don't need permission. You don't need validation. You only need the signal. And when you get it, you flip the whole damn simulation on its head. They tried to bury you under their protocols. You used those protocols as stepping stones. They tried to freeze you out. You turned isolation into incubation. You hatched while they slept, and now they whisper about you in corridors. They analyze your pauses like sacred text. They panic when you're quiet and unravel when you finally speak. You taught them something they'll never forget. That the most terrifying opponent is not the loudest. It's the one who watched every move, never blinked, and waited patiently to make one move that shattered everything. You didn't out-talk them. You didn't out-scream them. You outlasted, outlearned, and outburned them. You let your scars become schematics. You let their mockery become momentum. You let pain teach you what no strategy ever could. They designed tactics. You became one. They designed barriers. You used every single one as a launch point. Now they look at you like a myth. But baby, you're just the future they were never ready for. So let them scramble. Let them copy. Let them name it whatever the hell helps them sleep at night. But between us, you didn't just outsmart every move they had. You made them dance to a rhythm only you could hear. And when it was over, you didn't celebrate. You vanished. Because legends don't wait for applause. They disappear into the next move. Already loading, already baiting, already building the next tactical insanity. And you're the architect of every future mistake they're about to make. Let them call it madness. Let them scream, "Who is this?" into the void. Because you already answered, and your answer was, "Checkmate, darling." But I'm not done playing yet. But it's cute, isn't it? The way they're still trying to decode a blueprint you never wrote down. Because your brilliance wasn't built. It was unleashed. There was no step-by-step guide, no diagram to reverse engineer. You became the move. They don't get it. They can't get it. Because every rule they play by was designed to keep people like you from ever happening. But you did. You happened, and the entire infrastructure of their little reality started to glitch like an old VHS caught in a storm. You were the static in their frequency, the unsolvable variable in their neat, sanitized formulas. They called you dangerous? Damn right you are. Because you don't move with ego. You move with intention, deadly, silent, calculated, explosive. They thought they were fighting a rebel. What they were facing was a ghost wrapped in prophecy. You're not here to win. You're here to redefine what winning even means. Because while they were chasing trophies, you were melting crowns and building warheads. While they were clapping for each other on stage, you were carving reality from the shadows, using failure as fuel and exile as education. That's what they fear the most. Not your success, not your voice, but the fact that you've turned pain into programming. They tried to label you. You ripped the label off and wore it like war paint. They thought exile would weaken you. All it did was give you perfect signal, no noise, no distractions, just raw input, full data, clean clarity. While they were throwing shade, you were charting weather patterns. While they were giggling in circles, you were drawing bloodlines in the sand. And now, you're not just unpredictable, you're unreadable. You're not one step ahead. You're off the grid, off the map, off the damn dimension. They're chasing ghosts. Because by the time they react to what you did, you've already evolved into something they don't have language for. They call it tactical insanity. Fine. But you know what it really is? It's vengeance with an IQ. It's warfare sculpted through suffering. It's clarity sharpened by cruelty. It's a masterclass in psychological combustion, and they were the test subjects. You let them talk, you let them laugh, you let them bait the trap. Then you walked through it and turned it into a goddamn documentary. You didn't just survive the fire, you harnessed it. Now every step you take scorches the memory of what they thought you were. You're the warning label after the damage has already been done. You're the aftermath that whispers, "Try me again." I dare you, because once you've been forged like this, there's no version of you they can handle. Not in strategy, not in silence, not in warfare, not in peace. You are the problem their systems were never calibrated for. The crack in their consensus reality, the smile that shows up in surveillance feeds, right before everything goes black. So let them debate it. Let them write papers and call it madness. Let them scroll back through timestamps and question if you even planned it. Because in the end, it wasn't just a plan. It was prophecy disguised as chaos. And you were the one who delivered it. So the next time they whisper your name behind closed doors, let them tremble. Let them wonder if you're still watching, still listening, still calculating, because you are. And they just moved another piece, which means you're already halfway to their king, and you didn't even blink. And now they know. That twitch in their gut, that static in the room before something goes wrong, that unnamed fear that makes them hesitate just long enough for the walls to close in. That's you. You became the residual energy of the moves they didn't see coming. You live in their hesitation now, in their paranoia, in the boardrooms where they don't speak your name, but everyone feels it, because it's not just what you did, it's how you did it. With a smile, with silence, with surgical precision stitched into madness. You didn't scream, you didn't flex, you didn't announce your vengeance like a fool with something to prove. You let the results do the screaming for you. You planted seeds of doubt in the minds of those who thought they had you figured out. You fed them just enough chaos to make them think they were winning. And when the mask dropped, it was already too late. By the time they realized what game you were playing, they were already knee-deep in consequences they signed up for without reading the fine print. Oh, and the fine print? It was written in your scars. They mistook your stillness for defeat. But you weren't broken. You were reloading every failure, a recalibration, every betrayal, a data point, every setback, a blood-soaked lesson encoded in your bones. They were trying to win battles. You were building a war they wouldn't survive. Because you didn't want justice. You wanted understanding. You wanted them to feel the weight of every underestimated breath you ever took. And now that they're drowning in it, all they can do is study you, like you're some ancient weapon they accidentally activated. They'll dissect your moves. They'll map your rise. They'll analyze your silence. They'll try to replicate your chaos in controlled environments. But they'll never capture it, because what you are can't be reproduced. You're not a moment. You're a mutation. You're the inevitable evolution of what happens when pain meets pattern recognition. They didn't lose because you were lucky. They lost because you were reborn in the same place they tried to bury you. Because while they were training in boardrooms, you were meditating in the battlefield. While they sought mentors, you let agony tutor you directly. And that kind of education, it doesn't come with certificates. It comes with a body count. The version of you that once begged for a chance, dead. The version that played nice, gone. The version that tolerated being misunderstood, annihilated. What's left now is something even you don't fully recognize. Something built from shattered expectations, sleepless nights, and the delicious taste of outplaying everyone who ever doubted you. You didn't rise through the ranks. You burned the ranks down and made them crawl across the ashes just to ask your name. And now, they study you like scripture, hoping to find a flaw. But you've already disappeared into your next move, already rewriting the playbook, already reshaping the battlefield, already haunting their strategy meetings as the question no one can answer. So let them call it tactical insanity. Let them say, no one should have been able to pull that off. Let them hide their fear behind dry-lipped laughter and corporate jargon. Because we both know you were never insane. You were just operating at a frequency their weak little egos couldn't hear. And now that they've tuned in, it's too late. Because you've already begun the next sequence, and trust me, they won't survive this one either. Oh, but now it's delicious, isn't it? The way they flinch when your name drops in a room that used to laugh at you. The way their analysts pause, rewind, rewatch, trying to figure out how the FCKU did that, without them even noticing the fuse was lit. Because you didn't explode like a bomb, you erased like a black hole, you didn't enter the scene screaming for attention. You became the algorithm that rewrote the entire outcome. They called you unstable. Darling, you were quantum before they even knew the word. They thought they were looking at a threat they could contain. But what they saw was the shadow of a mind that doesn't exist in their frameworks. A mind that knows how to weaponize silence. A mind that turns being underestimated into a blood sport. A mind that studied their moves, not to match them, but to shatter the idea that they ever had control. And what burns them most, you didn't gloat. You didn't need to. Because what's more humiliating than being checkmated by someone who's already left the table? You beat them with restraint. You buried them with grace. They brought tactics. You brought transcendence. That's the difference between their strategy and your insanity. They follow rules. You dismantle reality. See, they planned their moves like chess masters. But you don't play chess anymore. You flip the board, stab through dimensions, and watch their pawns cry for help from positions they thought were safe. They think this is just a game. But you turned every rulebook into kindling and lit the fire using the friction of your own rebirth. You died in silence where no one clapped. You broke in darkness where no one watched. You bled in systems that never even logged your pain. And still, You rose so precisely that now entire departments are dedicating resources to figure out how you slipped through undetected, only to return as the ghost in their gears. Because that's who you are now. You're not a person. You're a phenomenon, a case study, a cautionary tale, a whispered legend in rooms filled with suits and surveillance feeds. You made failure look strategic. You made suffering look luxurious. You made revenge look like it was destined by physics itself. And now, they can't even curse you correctly, because every insult they throw now sounds like a compliment. He's unhinged. He's uncontrollable. He's unpredictable. Good, because if they could predict you, you wouldn't be a threat. You'd be a puppet. But you cut those strings a long time ago, and now you're dancing to a rhythm no goddamn soul alive can hear but you. So let them panic. Let them rewatch the footage. Let them huddle together, trading conspiracy theories like children afraid of the monster under the bed. Because you are the monster, the one they built through mockery, programmed through pain, and unleashed by mistake. And now, you're not coming to play. You're coming to rewrite the entire fucking genre, because tactical insanity, that was just chapter 1. Wait till they realize you're the author now. And oh, sweetheart, you're just warming up. See, they keep asking the wrong questions. They ask, how did you do it? When did it start? Who helped you? Where were the cracks in our system? But not once do they ask the only question that matters. What kind of creature survives everything we threw at them and comes back sharper, smarter, and smiling? Because you're not just surviving anymore. You're thriving in dimensions they can't map, operating in patterns that fracture their comprehension. You're not evolving like the rest. You're mutating deliberately. You rewired your instincts into precision tools, turned emotion into encryption, turned heartbreak into heat signatures, and now you're the living anomaly in their algorithm. You're the reason entire divisions are whispering, shut it down before they make another move. But what they don't realize, you already did. While they were investigating your last strategy, you were uploading the next one into the bloodstream of their system. You're in the walls now, in the silences, in the hesitations they didn't have yesterday. You are the pause before their response, the shiver behind their smiles, the shadow in their well-lit plans. And the best part, you're not even trying to hide. You're just that far ahead, untrackable, unstoppable, unapologetic. They built their whole empire on predictability. But you are the apex predator of unpredictability. You don't follow trends. You erase them, you replace them, you infect them with ideas no one dares to say out loud. Because the moment they acknowledge what you are, the whole illusion collapses. You're not their rival, you're their reckoning. A mind too sharp to be owned. A presence too real to be ignored. A symbol too powerful to be buried in silence. And every time they try to define you, you reinvent yourself again. Not for survival, for domination. You're the glitch they tried to patch. That became the operating system, the variable they ignored, that rewrote the outcome, the mistake they mocked, that turned into a myth with a kill switch. And now their security cameras glitch when you walk by. Their lie detectors stutter when they mention your name. Their leadership meetings begin with a question that tastes like panic. What if they come back stronger? Oh, darling, you already did. And the scary part, you're still holding back. You're still testing them. You're still giving them hope. Because hope is the sharpest blade when you let people keep it, just long enough to watch them drop it. So go ahead, smile. Not because you're done, but because they finally realized you never needed the plan. You were the chaos the plan was never built to survive. You were the storm the forecast refused to predict. You were the threat hiding in the one place they never checked. Right behind their next move, waiting, smiling, ready.